Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone, I'm Fatika and this is my sixth English video. I really hope you're gonna like it. In this video, we're gonna talk about narrative text. What is narrative text? Narrative text is a kind of text to retell the story that is in the past. The purpose of this text is to entertain or to amuse the readers or the listeners about the story. This kind of text has 5 generic structures. There are: first, orientation. This part of the text sets the scene, introduces the participants, and answers the questions what, where, when, and who. Second, complication. This part of the text tells the problems of the story. Third, resolution. In this part of the text, the problems of the story are being solved. Fourth, reorientation. This is the ending of the story. It may be happy ending or sad ending. Fifth, evaluation. This part of the text is the stepping back to evaluate the whole story or to tell the moral message of the story. Linguistic features of narrative text are using active verbs, using past tense, using temporal conjunctions like next, after that, once upon a time, long time ago, one day, and etc. Using direct or indirect speech and has specific characters. There are 12 kinds of narrative text. There are legend, like Sangkuriang or Malin Kundang. Fable, like Si Kancil. Fairy tale, like Cinderella or Snow White. Short story, real life drama, folk tale, classic, fantasy, adventure, mystery, myth, and science fiction. Now, I'm gonna give you an example of narrative text. I'm gonna tell you a story entitled Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, there were 3 bears who lived in a house of their own in a wood. One of them was Papa Bear, and one was Mama Bear, and the other was wee little baby bear. They had each a chair to sit in. A big chair for Papa Bear, a middle-sized chair for Mama Bear, and a little chair for wee little baby bear. And they had each a bowl for their porridge. A big bowl for Papa Bear, a middle-sized bowl for Mama Bear, and a little bowl for wee little baby bear. And they also had a bed to sleep in. A big bed for Papa Bear, a middle-sized bed for Mama Bear, and a little bed for wee little baby bear. One day, After Mama Bear had made the porridge for their breakfast and put it into the bowl, Papa Bear asked them to walk out into the woods while the porridge was cooling, that they might not burn their mouths by beginning too soon. Papa Bear said, "Let's walk out into the woods." And while they were away, a little girl called Goldilocks, who walked so far into the wood, passed by the house and looked in at the window. "Hello? Is there anybody inside?" Goldilocks saw nobody inside the house. Then she went into the house. Inside the house, Goldilocks saw the 3 chairs, and she tried to sit on each chair. And suddenly, she broke the little chair. She felt sorry about that. "Oops, I'm sorry," she said. Then she got hungry. She saw the porridge in the bowls on the table. She tasted the porridge in the big bowl. That was too hot for her. Then she tried the porridge in the middle-sized bowl. That was too cold for her. And then she tried the porridge in the little bowl. That was neither too hot or too cold for her, but just right. This one is so delicious," she said. And she liked it so well that she ate it all up, every bit. Goldilocks, who was tired and sleepy, went to the bedroom in which the 3 bears slept. First, she lay upon the big bed, but that was too high at the head for her. And next, she lay down upon the middle-sized bed, but that was too high at the foot for her. And then, she lay down upon the little bed. That was neither too high at the head nor at the foot for her, but just right. She felt like sleeping in her cozy bed at home. So she covered herself up comfortably and lay down there until she fell asleep. By this time, the 3 bears thought that their porridge would be cool enough for them to eat it properly. So, they came back home for breakfast. When they arrived at home, they got shocked and realized that there was someone who entered their house. Then, they checked their chairs. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," Papa Bear said in his great, gruff voice. "Someone has been sitting in my chair," Mama Bear said in her middle-sized voice. "Someone has been sitting in my chair, and it's broken," wee little baby bear said in his wee little voice. Then they checked their porridge. Someone has been eating my porridge, Papa Bear said in his great, rough, gruff voice. Someone has been eating my porridge, Mama Bear said in her middle-sized voice. Then, wee little baby bear looked at his. There was a spoon in the porridge bowl, but the porridge was all gone. Someone has been eating my porridge, and it's all gone, said wee little baby bear in his wee little voice. Then they checked the bedroom. Someone has been laying in my bed, Papa Bear said in his great, rough, gruff voice. Someone has been laying in my bed, Mama Bear said in her middle-sized voice. Someone has been laying in my bed, and here she is, said wee little baby bear with his wee little voice. Goldilocks heard the wee little voice of wee little baby bear. It was so sharp and shrill that it awakened her at once. Then she was so shocked when she saw the three bears at one side of the bed. Then she ran to the window. The window was open. Then naughty, frightened Goldilocks jumped out of the window and ran away until the bears had never saw her again. Well, that's all. I hope you found the lesson helpful and the story entertaining. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum.